Hello, you're very welcome back. In this section, Blake describes a person's view of the world as just that, a personal view. He remarks that our ways of looking at objects can change their appearance but have no effect on them really. It relates to his idea that our whole world could be contained in one drop of blood and have no effect on how we perceive our existence within it. You might enjoy the link to the clip from the movie Men in Black that illustrates this. In every 6,000-year period, the poet works in his mental forge, crafting the imagination of the people to see through to the real essence of life. He contrasts the sleep of the eternal beings with our sleep, which has been converted to death in our fallen state. He tells us that Orc, the revolutionary spirit, is actually Luva manifesting himself in our world of space and time. Now Blake gets to the heart of our world of matter. He speaks of accident, which was always understood as a manifestation of a higher reality, with that higher reality being known as substance. And it's turned topsy-turvy in our world. That manifestation in our world is actually taken to be the substance. And it takes great imagination to see past this illusion. When Blake says that the gate of the tongue is closed off, he means that man cannot articulate truth. It's because he can't see it. Then perhaps he might hear it, so the poet works on. He creates a new world every day, knowing that death is just another illusion that needs to be shattered. And there's a hint in this, I think, that man preys on his fellow man, trying to deal with just his own fear of death. When I closed off the reading last time, I didn't realize that I had finished in mid-sentence. So let's pick it up then with this 6,000-year span of time in mind. For in this period the poet's work is done, and all the great events of time start forth, and are conceived in such a period, within a moment, a pulsation of the artery. The sky is an immortal tent built by the sons of Los, and every space that a man views around his dwelling place, standing on his own roof, or in his garden on a mount of 25 cubits in height, such space is his universe. And on its verge the sun rises and sets, the clouds bow to meet the flat earth and the sea in such an ordered space. The starry heavens reach no further, but here bend and set on all sides, and the two poles turn on their valves of gold. And if he moves his dwelling place, his heavens also move where'er he goes, and all his neighbourhood bewail his loss. Such are the spaces called earth, and such its dimension. As to that false appearance, which appears to the reasoner as of a globe rolling through voidness, it is a delusion of Ulro. The microscope knows not of this, nor the telescope. They alter the ratio of the spectator's organs, but leave objects untouched. For every space larger than a red globule of man's blood is visionary, and is created by the hammer of Los. And every space smaller than a globule of man's blood opens into eternity, of which this vegetable earth is but a shadow. The red globule is the unwearied sun, by Los created to measure time and space to mortal man every morning. Baulahula and Alamanda are placed on each side of that pulsation and that globule, terrible their power. But Rintra and Palamabron govern over day and night in Alamanda and in Tuthon-Benython, where souls wail, where Orc incessant howls burning in fires of eternal youth, within the vegetated mortal nerves. For every man born is joined within into one mighty polypus, and this polypus is Orc. But in the optic vegetative nerves, sleep was transformed to death in old time by Satan, the father of sin and death. And Satan is the spectre of Orc, and Orc is the generate Luva. But in the nerves of the nostrils, accident being formed into substance and principle by the cruelties of demonstration, it became opaque and indefinite. But the divine Saviour formed it into a solid by Los's mathematical power. He named the opaque Satan. He named the solid Adam. And in the nerves of the ear, for the nerves of the tongue are closed, on Albion's rock, Los stands creating the glorious sun each morning, and when unwearied in the evening he creates the moon, death to the lewd, who all in terror at their splendour leaves his prey while Los appoints, and Rintra and Palamabron guide, the souls clear from the ruck of death, that death himself may wake in his appointed season, when the ends of heaven meet. Then Los conducts the spirits to be vegetated into great Golgonooza, free from the 4 iron pillars of Satan's throne. Temperance, prudence, justice, fortitude, the 4 pillars of tyranny, that Satan's watch fiends touch them not before they vegetate. But Enitharmon and her daughters take the pleasant charge to give them to their lovely heavens till the great judgment day. Such is their lovely charge. But Rahab and Tirzah pervert their mild influences. Therefore the 7 eyes of God walk around the 3 heavens of Ulro, where Tirzah and her sisters weave the black woof of death upon Antuth and Benithan, in the vale of Surrey, where Horeb terminates in Rephaim. The stamping feet of Zelosaphad's daughters are covered with human gore upon the treadles of the loom. They sing to the winged shuttle. The river rises above his banks to wash the woof. He takes it in his arms. He passes it in strength through his current. The veil of human miseries is woven over the ocean, from the Atlantic to the great South Sea, the Erythraean. Such is the world of Los, the labour of 6,000 years. Thus, nature is a vision of the science of the Elohim. So just a few more comments to finish off. The polypus is a conglomeration of humans who should be a brotherhood, but they live hating each other, and this hatred erupts into revolutions throughout history. Blake uses the nerves of the nostrils to symbolize creative power in action, somewhat like the breath of God. When accident is breathed into the world as substance, it produces chaos, and this chaos is ordered into recognizable forms by the Saviour, somewhat like the Logos. But the world is an illusion, cursed with false values of self-righteousness without mercy. And the poet struggles to free mankind from this mental slavery at his forge in Golgonooza. Enitharmon and her daughters, they give respite to suffering humanity through the joy of sex. This joy is perverted by the liberated Rahab and Tirzah, who use it as a weapon against man. Men, in turn, express their frustration in war. Blake concludes by saying that our natural world is a vision of the false god Elohim of the Bible. Perhaps this god can be compared to the Simsum of the Kabbalah. The mission of the poet over the 6,000-year span is to break Elohim's spell. So that's it for this reading, and we've completed book 1 of the 2 books that make up Milton. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me again for book 2 very soon. Bye for now.